Welcome back, YouTube. It's old Chevy 4x4. Long time no see. I'm out here in the shop on this beautiful Saturday, July the 12th. We got Clyde out here. Naturally, not laying on the blanket, not laying on the bed, just laying on the concrete. And we got Mr. Buford, who won't let me sit in my own chair. But it's a beautiful day, guys. Absolutely gorgeous outside. A little warm. It is a little warm. But through today's events, I got to thinking it's been too long since I've cammed up. I'm going to give you all an update, give you some little like kind of single shots or show you some still shots and such of what's been going on. We'll get you set up here on the tripod and I'm going to spin around in front of the camera. Well guys, it's been so long since I made a video that I actually had to go back on YouTube and look at my own videos to see when the last one I made was. And it was 5 months ago. And we were looking at burning waste oil on my wood stove because it was cold outside. Clearly not the case these days. I hope all of you all are doing well. We've been very busy. Work has picked back up. As such, I've had like no time at all. You know, we're not quite at pre-COVID levels, but we're definitely, you know, I'm running 12s pretty well all week long and now Saturdays as well. Today, being a little different, I did sneak out just a little early, or half a day early, and went to check out a tractor I found on Marketplace. So I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm going to give you a little quick flashback and then we're going to catch up to today. So today's events, like I said, kind of got me thinking I needed to cam up and say hi to you guys. Apologize for not being around and not watching your videos. And, you know, the usual summertime thing. If you're a long time subscriber, you remember this kind of behavior from many years ago because I just had very little time in the summer. So, starting out the year, not really a whole lot going on. I did end up picking up a little bush hog tractor. Picked that tractor up, and I also, at the same time, was talking to the guy. He had some other stuff for sale. I picked up a little bench top lathe, a little 17-inch lathe. So I've been messing around with that. Just, you know, basically doing more work on that old Ford truck. Got new tires on it now. It's got a sending unit and rear tank. I've still got a little more thing, you know, a few more things to do here and there. But all in all, it's a good, solid, ready to go truck. We picked up a trailer for it. Went down to Hillsboro, Alabama. Saw the fine folks at JMA Trailers. Dude named Josh hooked us up. Came back with a 20-foot equipment trailer, 14,000-pound gross. It's got nice spring-assisted ramps, the whole 9 yards. Really nice little slick little rig. So now we've got the truck ready, the trailer. We can start thinking about showing the hard part. The hard part's not been out of the shed yet this year, mostly because I got the steering box. Well, it's heavier than it looks, but it's sitting right here on my workbench because the worm gear is being worked on by a gentleman that I found online through the hard part group on Facebook, I believe. And basically, I've got my old one around here somewhere. My old worm gear's a little wore out and it's broken. It was brazed many years ago. The whole steering box froze. It broke the steering box itself, like the housing, and broke half of the worm gear off. Many years ago, somebody bronze brazed it all back up and then cut it, like crudely cut it back into a worm gear shape. And it's been working for decades and decades. But it's started. Oh, there it is right there. It's sitting in front of me. I can't find it. It had started to break. It was starting to crack right along here. So I have since repaired that crack. But in the meantime, I sent this off to a gentleman, and he took all kinds of measurements, and he is working on a new machine steel one. He sent it back. We intentionally oversized it. It was a little too oversized, so I had to send it back to him. And I was waiting on him to, you know, get it back up and where it needs to be and send it on back down to me, and we'll get the hard part going. It does turn 100 years old next year. It's a 1926 model, so we'll definitely be taking it shows. I hope to take it somewhere this fall, even if it's just something a little local, whatever. But I hope to get it out somewhere this fall. If not, definitely in the next year, we'll be trying to hit up a few shows because, you know, centennial, as it would be very cool to take it out and show people. Beyond that, that pretty well brings us up to speed. There's been a lot of little things in the shop. I picked up a new toolbox. I don't think I've showed you guys that. And then just working on fiddly projects, you know, just the usual BS stuff around the house. My next one is working on a remote battery setup for my redneck hedge trimmer, my Ego trimmer that I rig up on the front of my little LS tractor. I got the parts to do that. So that'll be my next project here in the shop, probably, because it's hot. It'll be nice to be in here with the air conditioners and the fans are going, right? So I think that said, I'm going to roll into today's events. So, quick background. I've been looking for a small tractor. I've been looking for something to do some bush hogging with, maybe some box blade and back drag and stuff like that. I've got that little LS tractor, and I've got a 4-foot bush hog on it, and it does a great job. And I'd like something, you know, a little bigger, a little quicker, maybe, for bush hogging the fields. Also would like to have a box blade, probably a York rake, and some other equipment too to go along with it. But regardless, I wanted something that could handle at least 5-foot equipment. 4-foot equipment does the job, but I wanted at least 5-foot, try to get the job done a little bit quicker, right? I do have that Ford 9N, and it's not a bad tractor, but it's not a very practical tractor. It doesn't have live hydraulics, doesn't have live PTO. The hydraulics leak down very, very quickly. So pretty well the moment you step on the clutch, if you've got something lifted, it's dropping, like just dropping. I'm not really sure if that's by design, to be honest with you, or if it's just the fact that it's either a 39 or a 41. I think I told the gentleman earlier it was a 39, but now I'm thinking it's a 41 model. I'd have to go back and look. Regardless, it's not new by any means, and it's pretty well played out. So it's a cool tractor, starts up, runs good, drives down the road good. It's just, it's not real practical for actual use, right? So I've been looking for a while now for something in the 30 to 40 horsepower range. And I ran across an ad for a 64 Massey Ferguson 35. And it was right up the road. It's Holiday, Tennessee, which I'm in Parsons. Holiday's just, you know, a hop, skip, and a jump away from here. So I sent the gentleman a message, and basically I just asked if PTO works. He said everything worked, 3-point hitch, everything in his description, but he didn't mention the PTO. So I just shot him that, and then he said it did, so I shot him a price. And I realized, because I did the Facebook stalking thing, right? So, you know, I shot him a price, and he hadn't replied yet, so I went to his profile. And I was like, I'll be danged, I know this guy. Went and seen George, the Shade Tree Fix-It Man. All right, out of all the people in the world selling a tractor, or all the people in Tennessee selling a tractor, George, the Shade Tree Fix-It Man, who has been my neighbor for 4 years, 5 years. George, if you see this, correct me. Been living in Tennessee for a little while, and we've not met up. I've not run into him. I've not seen him in town. You'd think a small town, we'd have bumped into each other somewhere. I've seen him on the road. I know his little Chevy HHR he was driving, and I know I've seen him on the road, but I've not ran into him anymore. So lo and behold, out of the blue, he's selling a tractor that I want, and we agreed on a price. So after I dipped out of work early today, I ran over to his place to check it out, and it's in great shape. Had a good time talking to him. He showed me the Goofy car, went down to Goofy's garage, and if y'all don't know George, the Shade Tree Fix-It Man, of course his link will be down there in the bottom. Go check him out, please. Great guy. I've been talking to him on YouTube for probably, we were thinking about it earlier, neither one of us could come up with a date, but I mean it's been a minute. It's been over a decade. Many years ago I was working on a little Musgrave ride-on mower, and he sent me a carburetor for it. Not too long after that, there was an old house being torn down next to us, and in that house there was a very cool old vintage train, like HO model scale trains or whatever, you know, like a train transformer. And at that time George was living in Minnesota, and he had a huge train set up in his basement, I believe, and I sent that on to him kind of as a thank you for the carburetor. But we've always talked and kind of looked back and forth, watched his other videos and such, right? So yeah, out of the blue, got to meet this guy. This is the third YouTuber I've ever met. I've only met 3 folks off YouTube. Lige, Bell Buckle T on, I met Jason, and of course Scott, GPL 87, and now George. And I honestly don't think I've met any other YouTubers. I racked my brain about this earlier, and I think he's the third one I've met. So in all the years of doing this, he's the third dude I've met. It's pretty cool. But yeah, really good straight up guy. And that pretty much brings us up to where we're at today. So I unloaded the tractor. Of course, I ran it all around the property. Mainly, like I said, hanging out with him for a little while today kind of got me feeling nostalgic, or however you want to look at it, and wanted to get back on YouTube and say hi. That said, guys, I've been taking video clips all along of different stuff, so I might be able to put something together. You know, I could try. I think I probably have a whole video changing the battery out in the zero turn the other day. Just some other little stuff around the house, but I'm going to try to make a conscious effort to spend a little more time on here and to get back in touch with you guys and just kind of get back to making videos again. So that said, I hope it works out. As always, guys, thank you very much for watching the videos, checking out the channel, leaving the comments, and all that good stuff. Do me a favor, please stay safe, stop back. We'll see you in the next one.